We're back to Joel, right? Joel Gallegos.
Yes, Joel Gallegos. Barring our O-line having a big setback this year, given the fluidity of the personnel we can use, do you see Williams and Tyree each being 1,000-yard backs this year? We had a question similar to this a few weeks ago, didn't we, Brian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we were talking about the production of the running back position. And I think we both kind of decided, look, we're not going to necessarily just focus on the ground numbers,
right?
Because we feel like,
which in fairness, Joel didn't actually say
that
rushing
is true.
Yards.
Well, if he didn't say just rushing yards, then I'm going to go with absolutely. Yes,
yeah.
I feel like they're both going to be 1,000-yard backs.
Well, and they both had 1,000 yards last year if you take in all purpose, including kick returns. But we're going to stick to just offense for this one.
And I still think it's going to be over 1,000 because I think they're both going to be very active in the passing game, even more so than last year, both of them. And I think we're going to see them on the field both at the same time as well. So, again, I'm going to be looking at the combined receiving and rushing yardage at the end of the day and see what that looks like, because they're going to be used in both ways, and they're both going to be effective in that way as well.
For me, I think the type of offense Notre Dame is going to employ, and that includes the change that we think Tyree is going to make, and this is not a criticism because there are plenty of teams that this is true of. The offense that Notre Dame is going to employ is not like the offenses we've seen that have had multiple running backs go over 1,000 yards. So I think back to Oklahoma back in 2008 when they had DeMarco Murray and who was the other 1,000-yard running back? Chris Brown. Remember back with Sam Bradford? But that was an up-tempo, snaps, volume, explosive type of offense. And so you look at North Carolina last year, those backs both averaged over 7 yards a carry because it was that RPO, like heavy RPO based, up-tempo, air raid type of offense. I don't think Notre Dame's going to play with the tempo that you would need to play with to have 2,000-yard running backs from a rushing standpoint. I do agree with Vince that I think that we will see both of them get to 1,000 yards, including postseason, in total offense, or at least they should, barring injury and proper usage. I think they will get to that point. But I just don't know if Notre Dame's going to be able to have that. Having said that, I still have argued in the past, Vince, that if Jonas Gray doesn't get hurt against Boston College in 2011, there's a chance that Notre Dame would have had 2,000-yard running backs in 2011. A chance. But it's going to be tough just because of the type of offense. But that doesn't mean that they won't both play great or be used correctly. They could both be used exactly how Tyree should use them, and Notre Dame can have an elite offense, and they still both don't get to 1,000 yards rushing. Right? So I just want to make clear, that's not a criticism. It's just Alabama's offense isn't like that, where they're not going to have 2,000-yard running backs because there's more passing and just they don't run a million snaps and things like that. So it's not a criticism, just more of a reality of it.